used to have a work colleague called Clifford Brown. This isn't him. This Clifford Brown was a jazz trumpeter. His career started in 1949. His recording career started in 1953. Sadly, he died in 1956 at the height of his career. He played with a host of well-known jazzmen, including Bud Powell, Miles Davis. Mind you, everybody seems to have played with Miles Davis. Thelonious Monk, Dizzy Gillespie, Art Blakey, Lionel Hampton, and a lot more, but also had a particular strong association with Max Roach. Max Roach was a jazz drummer who had a career from 1944 to 2002. He's credited with being one of the first jazz drummers to actually bring jazz style beyond a simple beat, pioneering the use of the ride cymbal, which is now synonymous with jazz. And he has a typically extensive list of recorded albums. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is, I would describe it as an album of small band instrumental jazz. I've never heard it before. I don't think so. So I'm fresh to it. So what we've got here is a trumpet, a tenor sax, a piano, a bass, which is of course being jazz, a double bass, a upright bass, and drums. And it features, of course, but you can see it from the information that's been given, Clifford Brown on the trumpet and Max Roach on the drums, who were a solid collaboration for quite a few albums. They did quite a bit of stuff together. In fact, they basically had a band that was fairly stable as far as I understand it. So this is labelled by both Acclaimed Music and Wikipedia as hard bop. And we've had quite a lot of hard bop. I think I was getting the hang of what hard bop was, and now I'm a little less sure because of this. So it does have a lot in common with a lot of those other albums. It's small band instrumental stuff, and it's got the idea of bookended jazz tunes. By bookended, I mean you play the tune at the start, stick this way around, play the tune at the start, blah, 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 play lots of twiddly stuff, and then play the tune again at the end. But to me, a lot of the hard bop albums that have appeared for me to review on this channel have, in that soloing, have been somewhat moving towards the free jazz end of stuff, in that it's very kind of moving away from the standard tune, although the other people might be playing the chord sequence that they're improvising over. The notes that they play might not have a huge amount of relation to those chords. I feel like that here the soloing is more tied to the structure of the chords than it is in a lot of that other hard bop, which made me kind of a little bit curious as to what my perception of hard bop is. Okay, if anybody knows better than me and wants to tell me something in the comments, please do. So it's less all over the place in the solos. It's particularly fast at times. That's one of the definite characteristics of this album, and it's very precise and quick playing. Particularly from the trumpet and the sax, often together, doing stuff that's really nicely done. So it's urgent and it's almost frantic, but it's very tight and intricate with a light floating feel. So it also has a distinction of including a track on it, which is Take the A Train, which I've played in public in a jazz band. There's not many tracks that I can claim that for. But I was in a jazz band for a few years, back in my 20s, playing the bass, electric bass, not upright bass. And this was one of our ones that we did pretty much every gig that we went to. So I like it. The rendition on this album I particularly like. It's got some nice simulated train stuff on the drums. It's got a good feel to it. So overall, this album, I enjoyed it more than I do a lot of jazz. Not that I dislike jazz, but it definitely was kind of a positive experience for me rather than a more neutral experience that I have sometimes. I enjoyed the musicianship and the feel, and I think that having it a bit more structured might be a thing that means I enjoy it more, but maybe it's also just the quality of the play and the feel of the play. But it's definitely finding a sweet spot for me here in jazz. I came to jazz originally through enjoying trad jazz, New Orleans stuff, which has come quite a bit earlier on. So my exploration of jazz has been an interesting journey. Anyway, that's what I think of this album. As always, I'd love to invite you to tell me what you think of this album, so please do by leaving me a comment. But that's it from me for now.